Alright, now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 Sri Lanka series here on the Lord Master channel. This is the final episode of the Sri Lanka series here, after 31 episodes, I believe, unless I'm off a number, who knows, but I can tell you this, people. We started that series back in September, I believe. Although I might be a bit off as far as when did I start? Yeah, I started in September. Yes, you're correct, Lord Master. Started around mid to late September. And now here on this date of the recording, I've recorded this final episode on November 19th, Sunday, November 19th, 2023. So what do I have planned for now is going to be pretty obvious. We do a grand tour, do a few things, possibly a hunt, and of course Unite the Sangha, which we've already have reached the threshold of doing so, but I would rather do a couple of things first before actually enacting that decision, since I just like dragging this episode on as much as I like to. And of course the next video series will be coming in a couple of weeks or so, as long as all the mods that I like to use or plan to use are up to date for the next video series that will feature the Legacy of Persia DLC and more. Yeah, but of course it'll have to be set somewhere in the Iranian world, as in Iranian culture. Which, of course, let me point that out for you. Basically, somewhere in the lands of the Persian Empire. I mean, that's where, you know, most of that struggle, the Iranian intermezzo, will take place, in those regions, even though they would also include, you know, Transoxiana and Caucasus. Oh yeah, I guess they did a decision where, heck, but so I'd all separated like that. That's weird, but nevertheless, that I'm particularly a little bit excited on that one. And of course it's all determined by the poll that's been up there on my YouTube channel for a while, and by the time I get rid of this poll, then you'll know what series that I will be doing next, and I will well, who knows what kind of goals or ambitions do I have in mind, which of course, depending on the certain faith and culture that I'm playing as, or what kind of playthrough I want to be and all that. But still, it's a very good experience that I had in this here Sri Lankan video series and such. But anyways, let's get back down to Sri Lanka, or Tambapani as it was then called, for one last time, for one last episode. And this event related to here pops up. Porakalia. In Tambapani, it is a traditional custom for villages to host ritual games for the goddess Patini on special occasions. Both teams for these games are typically male, and these are great occasions for the men to show off. One team represents the goddess, while another team represents her spouse or some male deity. If the goddess's team wins, this surely ensures good agricultural fertility and prosperity for the year. But both teams are expected to play seriously for the ritual to be considered legitimate. I heard that the coconut game, Porakalia, was recently played at a prominent village in Nagadipa. Both teams have individual team members face off at a time, and the two players throw coconuts at each other at the same time, trying to crack the coconut of the other person. The team who cracks the most coconuts of the other team wins. It's a dangerous but exciting game. I wonder which team won this time. So it's a 50-50. Either Patini's team loses the game, or Patini's team wins the game, which over there in Nagadipa, they get a bit of a development growth and a tiny bit of popular opinion on. And they lost the game here. Ah well, it's just something that they do on the daily life of Tambapani. I wonder if they still do that today. I mean, if any of you Sri Lankan viewers are familiar with that little pastime occasion, for the lack of a better term, well, it's a ritual. Do they still do that today? Like, is that a Buddhist thing, a Hindu thing, a Sri Lankan thing, where it's more of a cultural thing rather than a religious thing. I mean, again, Patini, as it was mentioned before, is worshipped by both. Both, yeah. And so, again, I'd like to plan on doing a grand tour, even though we do have the ability to unite the Sangha now. But I kind of want to do that a little later. Otherwise, this would be a bit of a short episode. It's just I feel like I want to earn it. But first, let's hold the court one last time. A frightful peasant strolls all too close before a guard steps between us. Oh, he backs off weak, laughing through his scanty. Your ladiness, I come for Nagadipa with the matter of good. Pay the port, advising me. Yes, see, Mahesi, back in my grandpappy's day, a night watchman pulled a fence along the Fletcher's wife's father's field. Now it's fallen to bits, and of course the grandson wants nothing to with it. Again, that particular dialect. More development for Nagadipa, so Matakarya Patita, go fix it, please. Wherever I've traveled far to ask for your aid in righting a great injustice. The woman fronts bows to you before continuing with her well-rehearsed plea. Radha Mahasata of the Maldives currently sits on the throne of the Maldives. But I am true and rightful heir to these lands. If you aid me in pressing my claim, I will swear fealty to you, and I will serve you with loyalty till the end of my days. Why on earth would I want to declare war over something that we have no business being there? But I'll say, I cannot help you, but please enjoy my hospitality, as you are my guest. You are married to the man from where exactly? Oh, way over there in the Andamans. I didn't see that. It's part of Tamilakam. And is. My vassal, Vatanasami, Varakunavaman, approaches the throne with a middle-aged man. My age and Maheshi, he spells. My acquaintance, Kittisana, Chadima, or Kadima, seeks the honor of serving a retinue of Radhapura. Give him the opportunity to prove his quality. The man knows the way around the sword and will not let you down when it counts. Very well, you may attend me, son. As the last petition departs, various courtiers follow out of the room, having business to attend elsewhere. Others remain talking among themselves about the recent proceedings. Soon the ceremony formality proceedings dropped away entirely, with the hum and bustle of normal courtly life taking its place. The business here is done. Go on one last grand taxation tour. As much as I would like to have hosting all the dinners, but I understand there's been some control issues in these lands as of late, so I want everybody to be in full control. And I do mean everybody, so there will be more taxation to us, and the land must be at peace. Get me the Silk Road merchants, and yeah, the mercenary guards as well. I'll bring everybody over here. No need for the luxuries, because remember, having this high debt just means decreased starting success of the tour. Even though every time we do that, we always earn it to tier 4 anyway, so this is why I always kept it down with no luxuries. And the prestige gain matters little to me during these taxation tours. As a generous person that I am. So bringing everybody over here. Stick with me, my old Italian friend. And husband is coming with me. Taberna Devani, a local. One last time. And also, as a reminder, I do have a son in there, and also I have the gout for the longest time. Oh yeah, I remember you. Thought about Stussy you a long good time ago, but I'm kind of, lost interest. Touring the grounds here, you know the drill. You've seen how this works. Hold on, what? No, not this. I just saw something else. Oh. No, it's just something I just saw in real life news. Nothing to concern you people. During the tour of the Gama of Sankadaga Lapura, unlocked the conversation with my Rajas Kulava Mahasena about the glory and warfare and strife. When he's uttered by one of his courtiers, the lordly courtier spoke completely out of turn. Mahasena, stranger, did not chastise him, and allowed him to speak directly to me. Though what he had to say is quite interesting. This brigade of social etiquette has caught me quite off guard. I will listen. Courtiers. As I and my entourage ride along, I hear murmurs echoing through the grounds. I order a boy to ride ahead, and when he returns, he informs me that there's a gang of illegal poachers ahead of us. Though there's no concern of mine, it would doubly agree with me, with my Radisikalava Ratlaru Marasana, if I were to get rid of the grounds of this illegal activity. I could round up these rough rants and present their heads and hands to Ratlaru Marasana. How much is it? Well, time for a hunt then. 100% chance of success. Mahasena has been a quite great sale so far, showing me his lands and possessions, allowing... Oh, hold on, I got distracted. Showing me his lands and possessions with pride, I'm immediately taken aback when he starts staring and clearly drawing my attention away from apparently unremarkable door past me. Are you hiding something from me, Mahasena? I take advantage of the small, shameful, guilty silence pushed the door open. Not surprised at what I find. The door leads to a courtyard filled with the healthiest, strongest looking hounds I've seen in a while. Well, as a fellow hunter, I say a fellow connoisseur. Yes. Even more lifestyle experience gain. Time for tribute. It's a must-have. Let's get to it. Get no fancy dinners, no cultural festivals. It's all about touring the grounds. I want to see how the land is doing, and I want to make sure that everything is in working order. And of course, plus you are 54 years old. I am not interested in old people. You know what the next word I was going to say, but I had to cut short. Because I love doing that in my videos. That's the curse cut short. Sorry I can't be there for the court event. Huh? You can no longer increase the development of the county. Did we reach 100 development? Yes, we did. And you tell me that you can't increase it further? Development level in Vijayarajapur is not less than 100. You actually reached the max. I've never done that before in the history of me playing Crusader Kings 3. I've never had a county reach up to the development 10. But the monthly growth is still going up. So could that mean it could go beyond 100? Is that even possible? Why the heck not? Invest in Nagadeepa. Tribute. Thank you. We'll check back in a moment regarding here in Vijayarajapura. As my entourage comes to halt the gates of Raigan, the call is made for Pasado Ketisana of Ramadav, but after the time is more than generous, not even a lowly servant appears to greet me. The call is made many more times, and we receive no answers save for the chirps of wild birds and the whistle of gentle winds. It's become clear that I've been turned away at the gates, and the worthless Pasladu has in doing is to insult to the crown. How dare you? What's the matter with you? What's the rationale behind that? Because you're shy and it's sadistic. But let's just move along. I think he's too shy to come out. Just give him a break, okay? The word of my arrival seems to spread Rata Mayarama as our entourage soon beset with countless serfs begging to be blessed with a royal touch. I, of course, could simply sprinkle a little water blessed by myself upon them, and they would surely be satisfied. But granting them blessed coins to soothe their affected areas would keep them happy and blessed for much longer. You got control issues? This regular water should satisfy him. Every little bit helps. You eat it. development growth, this part here, is still going up, so it can go beyond 100, I think. Again, never had that happen to me before. To the ground. Keep well in mind. 920 for Mahavihara, so it's definitely going to stay up for a while. Until I finally enact the decision to unite the Sangha. But I just want to take some sweet time at this episode, final episode. I find myself curious to see how the low lives of Anuradhapura live, so that I pay a visit to an establishment where locals seem to be growing quite rowdy. One man stands atop a table, commanding the attention of everyone within earshot. What do we need for the rat lotto anyway? Salia is the most brooding buffoon I've ever seen. Yet he expects our undying loyalty. Tabling her ups to thumping applause. Clearly my rat lotto is not having his own. Do not speak ill of the rat lotto. Have at you. Win the fight. That'll get these rowdy people in control. Pay taxes to your lord, damn it. Reduce costs for the Rata of Nagadipa. You got it. Hook on me has been replaced with a favor hook. Pay up. Thank you very much. One last. Everybody's getting hooks on me. But then again, I must be generous. Made it up to tier 4. During the tour of Gama of Periamadu, I have locked in a conversation with my vassal Radlaru Yahasini about Siddhartha's divine plan for humanity, which is interrupted by one of our courtiers. The man is not allowed to speak for long before being silenced by his liege, but the wisdom he is able to dispense immediately proves he knows far more about the subject than Radlaru Yahasini of Devani could ever dream of knowing. If Radlaru Yahasini is willing to listen to his insight, perhaps he would be willing to join my court instead. Hope you don't mind. You're in good health. Get yourself a new physician, will you? Thank you. healthy rivalry between metals and fighters to be expected, but the growing discord between Chodaganga and Mahinda is souring the mood at court. Chodaganga is widely regarded to be more skilled, but Mahinda clearly takes issue with the association. In the middle of the audience, the latter bursts in my throne and, clutching his sword, cries, Chodaganga! Only one of us can be claimed as the Maheshi's most skilled Buddha. Meet me outside and I will settle the question. Chodaganga replies reservedly, I will cut you to pieces where you stand, for not for the presence of my lady. You reserved knave. Apologize, and I may spare your life. Better act quickly if this escalation is to be halted. Take their swords and give them training blades. Let them beat each other up with them. And Mahinda wins. Again. So we have cranes now. This is for late medieval era buildings. Post mills. $81 per month. My goodness. I am a focused student. You know what, simply for the sake of it, let's do this because this actually is gonna decrease the tax income but increase the development growth, since our tax income is so dang low anyway. Yep, it dropped quite a bit, but still very good income. So as a Maheshi in India, or Sri Lanka, or Tambani, one way I can gain merit is by giving land grants to religious institutions like temples and monasteries, even those of a different sect than mine. They thusly aid rulers like myself by expanding agriculture and now economically and politically integrate these frontier regions under our authority. I decided to grant some land to a number of Buddhist temples and monasteries in my territories, much to the delight of the Buddhist faithful who live there. Although doing this transfers the revenue from these lands away from me, it is for the good cause, and this will reflect well on me in the eyes of my realm's Buddhist community. May this bring me great merit. So this hurts the tax, but adds more development growth. Hey, I saw something else. Establish trade route. While we're at it. Can it go beyond 100? A what innovation? Promissory notes. It's all about development these days. Actually, it can't go above 100. 100 is indeed the max because the development growth, I mean, it was 93 and now it just resets itself. So the max is 100. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, as I said before, people, the maximum development in this game is 100 as the limit is. So when you reach 100, this causes levies increased by 100%, taxes increased by 25%, supply limit increased by plus 15,000. Look at the supply limit here. It's I mean, that along with, a few, buildings that grants the supply limit. You could host a huge army in this single county when mobilized. That's just amazing. You see that golden color? Yes, golden Lanka. And unfortunately the trade route was a failure. But we can rely on our own land here, where it gets us the most income, unlike anywhere else in the world. Of course it's yours, dummy. Women can't impregnate me. That's not how it works. Using logic. Trying to think of a thing real quick before I will officially unite the Sangha. That's appropriate. I want to do it as a religious icon. $938 keeps increasing, and I received word that 10 of my minor officials in Nagadipa have formally resigned their positions. It appears the chief official in charge of them is very corrupt, and they were unable to do anything about it. And their attempts to reach out to me were foiled by the chief's official's minions. However, I managed to hear about these resignations, and word on the street is that the chief official is very nervous about how I will react to it. So yes, corrupt officials. Officials resigned in protest because they were recently assigned to protest the corruption of their former boss, a higher-ranked official. Now I would say arrest the chief official and offer the resignees their jobs back. So 50% chance that that the resignees don't want their jobs back, even though we will arrest that corrupt official. Or the other 50% chance that the resignees agree to return to their old jobs. I'll be willing to spend money and some prestige for them. So what do you say? They agree to return to their old jobs. That's kind of, like what's going on with Sri Lanka today. We know there's a few corrupt officials, and I'm sure there's a few good people that did resign in protest of their boss or whatever. I could apply to any walk of life on Earth. I'm sure some of you viewers have who worked on their day-to-day jobs, and you actually resigned because you kind of didn't like your boss, who was either mean to you or is corrupt, and then eventually one of the higher-ups, ever heard of human resources, and they check on the guy, and we're gonna fire the guy, and then the ones who quit their jobs, do you want to go back to your job, and all that? I'm sure I could reflect so many. But the reason why I say it is because I never worked in my whole life, to be real honest. Me, in real life, I never held a job in my life because I have disability insurance. Anyways. I'm still smart to joke. My Senate Varat Chataganga made at this morning's council session with Paslaru Ketisana Katsman. Lage, I've been meaning to talk to you. I know how you feel much affection for him, but really a place on the council? No matter how good a Senator is, this insult's plain to see. Maheshi may pick her own counsel because I like this man. The one I'm talking about here, even though he's a coward. I know talent when I see one. One of my servants recently just experienced a personal tragedy, as their beloved child died from illness. The servant is, of course, now in mourning, a look in uttermost grief on their often tear-stained face. All the other servants and even a few members of my court are doing their best to comfort this servant of mine, so perhaps I should offer at least a few kind words as well. Your child is now in nirvana with Siddhartha. We had our differences in the past, but don't you agree that it's time to let bygones be bygones? Yes, let us, please. Just want to end the rivalry and this stupid nonsense of holding grudges. And I will focus on improving my lot of my peasants. I just want everybody to look highly upon me as I am generous and just, with no indication of any dread on me, despite my earlier trespasses early in the reign. It behooves the Maheshi to spend time at sea, with the salty air in her face and a fine vessel beneath her feet. Today sees my personal craft and a small escorting squadron out for drills, practice, and pleasure. This short voyage has been an exhilarating change of pace from life at court. When we spotted a distant plume of water followed by a small island of wine dark flesh rolling down the waves. The greatest beast of all the deeps, a whale. You've probably seen this event before in one of my older series when I was Norway. And and I think this probably happened because I have this tradition, the experienced whalers, so this is why it popped up. Or due to the fact that you're in a coastal county. But I'll say, what a grand query, because I have the hunter trait. Face the true Leviathan in the deeps. 99% chance that we slaughter the whale and haul it to shore. 0% chance I get wounded. Slaughtered the whale. 300 gold. Now, over the last months, I noticed my Madakaria has been blabbling the whole council for a tentative plan he has been developing to improve my domain. That includes areas where every one of my councils will have a say. Now that the plans are presented, I find it to include a host of factors and variables that together provide a sound foundation that will help immensely in the development of my domain. In the knowledge of all, the council is eager to implement the plan, but that will carry a price tag. But I'm not sure what to do. Order the council to implement the plan. Even more development growth! Even though it's already at the max for Trinco. Because it can't go beyond what we just discovered. See? It resetted itself. So you decided that you used weak hook on me by protected title revocation. Okay, fair enough. Another man named Shivaganga, the giant. Son of a knocking over a lamp and almost setting cushion like, Lidavati, I'm sure I'm being followed, he cries, pointing at me. They were men skulking outside my chambers. My things have been moved. After all, you are allegedly a coward. Mahasena will get to the bottom of this. Truth cannot escape him. My spy master has at long last admitted that he could find no evidence of the plot against my Senavirat. He has even gone as far as to suggest the entire episode is a figment of his imagination. I'll have you guarded just in case. Better safe than sorry. Oh, my old lover has passed, and Chodaganga just died. Oh my god. Assassinated. But who did it? Something tells me the killer must be here. I want you to start finding secrets right here in this court. I remember the day when my first child, Vijayabahu, a beautiful boy, was born. My Akabal son. Memories like these bring comfort. No matter what happens, I know that my family's there for me, and that house Vijayabahu stands strong. Goodness to the sword, I whisper under my breath. Vijayabahu deserves a gift for his loyalty. I struggle to make out the tiny letters on the scroll before me. I feel an ache building once again. Why describes Sistar writing such small symbols? I squinted. Try again. That extraordinary miracle, with the aid of stone and glass, even old women struggling with bad eyesight could read with ease. I need one of these stones. For many months, the clerics of my realm have been attempting to lobby me and other members of my dynasty to accede to their requests to have a more prominent role in the affairs of the country. At last, they were able to politically corner me to decide on the matter. My answer will have a significant impact over the different political angles. So, I could support the clerics and let them decide many items of the agenda of my realm. My skills are compromised while my piety soars, so... Ooh! Or I could snub them, which... I mean, I'm not a zealous character, which I would lose a level of piety, while gaining the renown back. But look at all of the skills. They're all great. It's for 10 years though. Plus, it's already at the max, so I'll snub them. If I was a more zealous character, I wouldn't do that. Would have done that. Who killed Chodaganga? This is why we're searching secrets of God. I want that murderer found. I will expose to him, and maybe we could perhaps imprison him and banish him. We don't do executions in this country. It's not the Buddhist way. Thank you very much. And my child is to be born very, very soon. 9 months. Anytime. My relief is great and my joy even greater. I've given birth to a perfect little daughter. What will you become, my child? Should I call you Lasani? I like that name. Just the way it sounds. Let's go worship the ancestors for the prestige lay ceremony. You can do it at any temple holding you like. Let's go up there. for the ancestors. Of course, cousin. Old cousin. Despite he's infirm and one-legged, he is willing to come here. The killer is out here. Find it. Are you even looking at the right place? In my court. Okay. Suspicious circumstances mean a character is murdered. That means the killer's gotta be here somewhere. I'm giving you 2 more tries. If you can't find it, I'm gonna send it to court to all of my vassals. One of you did it. We don't usually snoop around people's secrets because of my honesty. Today I've gathered members of my family to pay respect for our ancestors in a grand ceremony, as they perform the traditional Sahala rites, invocations, ritual offerings, and gestures that typify these ceremonies. We reflect on our forefathers and foremothers, the struggles that they went through, as well as the wisdom that they continue to provide us to this day. Following this ceremony, we gather for a family meal and spend time with each other. We reaffirm in our hearts that the memory of our ancestors cannot be forgotten, and that we must do our best to honor their legacy with righteous acts. One can only hope, if they are watching us from beyond, that they are proud of what the latest generation of the Vijayabahu family has accomplished. It's always proper to pay respects to one's ancestors. 87 renowned this time. Thank you, people. The Witch of Mulativu. Mulativu is a land of strange and obscure custom to me. The practices of the street Kula faith are strange and unimaginably different from Theravada, and nowhere is that more apparent than their attitude towards the practice of magic. Right in the middle of the town, there's a woman chanting incantations and offer blessings as she were a big. It is strange to me, but the people appear positively jubilant in her presence. They must be made to understand that witchcraft is a sin in our faith. But yours is accepted, obviously. And I won the debate, she's joined the court, and now she is a Theravada. She's been moved. It is nightfall, and Upatissa is hard at work when we arrive at the cereal field south of Pankulam. It appears that to be flattening crops at a rapid pace, using a large, flat piece of wood and heavy stones. I frown as I watch the man performing his letter, and I inquire what exactly he's up to. He winces and he starts a long rant about how we all need to wake up and meet our true master instead of hiding behind a false Buddhist teachings. I take a step back. Stop that, you heretic. What's the matter with you? Slope. Back home. Go take the vows. Do something better with your life. Instead of living a life of witchcraft, of the old faith, I'd rather see you be a Buddhist nun. As I lean over to the map in the council chamber, a sudden creak turns my head towards the doors. My son, Vijayabahu, appears in the hallway, toddling up to me at a surprising speed for his age. He wraps himself firmly around my leg, hugging me tight and leaning his head back to look up at me. I look at him, a hidden tear in my eye while My hand is stroking his hair in an effort to reciprocate the gesture. You're a good son. Don't cry. Do not cry. $1,500! Must be late medieval cost of sending a child to the university. Back then it was $750. Now it's $1,500. Inflation rate is very high in the late medieval era, isn't it? What are the Mongols up to? Are they still rampaging through Siberia? Yeah, they are. United Sangha doesn't call. No, you just enact a decision. Anytime you wish. Again, we'll do it in, yes. While performing his duties, Cosmo, the secret of Cosmo, in a way he seeks pleasure is revolting for any decent man to think of. And yet is not merely willing, but eager. You'll so unnatural sickening? No. It is unnatural sickening. An offense against God. His God. Well, I kind of knew that for the longest time. I just really don't care, to be honest. While I've come to expect mischief from my son and average about his creativity keeps me on my toes. While it is not a prank, it is a brawl. A disgruntled tutor or grazed knees from an adventure gone wrong. Never a dull moment. A rowdy child. You don't typically see that in our house. Okay, I want you to start looking in the courts of my vassals. One of you's got to be responsible. Oh, wait a minute. I think I recall. He had an issue with him. Look at Katisana. Maybe he's responsible. I want to solve that mystery. You're not going to find any secrets in this here court. Instead, go look at that one man who would be prime suspect. Right about medicine. You got it. And wants to make an earn. You too. Croat? Never thought we would see a Croatian in these parts here. That's Mahasena of Malaya. He is a sorry politician. Dedications are overrated anyways. No. Yeah, we'll do that soon. All the more reasons why, I say, you know. Hey, you got something to hunt, but first... My Lady Progress is coming along, but if I had some more parts, subhuman materials, something that could create something truly mind-blowing. I need a person alive, at least at first. There's a request. My gaze lands on the crimson-stained tools and ripped-off fingernails strung across the table. What kind of person are you? She is a bhikkhuni. She's a nun. Here, have some coins to abduct a few peasants. She's writing a book on medicine. Unfortunately, there is nobody down here. Actually, hunt up in the hills here. See too if we could find something. Yeah. Anybody's welcome to join. Just want to hunt up here in these here hills. Typically we hunt in the jungle, but instead. Ah, yes. I get the rabbit, and this helps with the trade experience in Venator, which is 79. Yeah, I'll be very close to it. Got it. You pay me 150. After this hunt, I'm gonna get this to the max. I do not typically get that up that high. In fact, there's so many things that I've done in this here video series where I've done things I would typically never get this far doing compared to, you know, the previous series with Haran. Since Haran was the first series that added all these, you know, things, you know, the tours and tournaments thing. And this here, the Sri Lankan series, I did it because that was part of the that other DLC. And the next video series will be for Legacy of Persia. And now we'll wait for the others. Who moved what where? It's Tamils just moved over here. Alrighty. 80, that's the max. When Master Hunt summons the party to gather as light reaches the hunting grounds nestled in Samantakota's flatlands. My mini-game keepers and plushes have been pouring over the area for tracks and fumes. The stout buck is definitely here, but conditions could hardly be better for hunting it. Let me see. A stag, a hyena, a fox. I really want that one hyena. The last few attempts we failed with the bow. I gotta be more reckless this time. This third time will be the charm for the hyena to catch. My husband along has crouched down on the ground, humming cheerfully, picking jasmine. Appears to have lost all interest on it. Maheshi, what a bounty of nature. Look at these plants. Truly the wealth of the earth knows no bounds. We do not appreciate these simple features enough. Hey, you hunt too, husband. For the learning, just this once. Fascinating. What's that flower? Alright, my brother put a stat signals across the grassland. The whole hyena pack crouches in a hole not far off. The beasts bolt up on our approach, laugh at the alarms they retreated to the tall grass, fangs snarling. We chase after the flying brown vermin. focus on the largest group. Now the real chase begins. We tried it both once, but this never works for us. So I'll say, after we ride. Attempt to corner its methods more perilous, but I don't care. I want that damn hyena. It's eluded me for too long. For my years of living. My world narrows to the nature surrounding us. We follow the dogs across the rough ground on the scent of the fleeing hyena. Bearing down on the trail, all I hear is the thundering of hooves, dogs barking, men shouting. Excitement flows through me as we slowly gain on our quarry. So close, I almost have you. After hours of riding, we are finally cornering a wily beast. Our chase is not yet in vain. Whether tired or defiant, the hyena at last halts, turns toward us, and lets an almighty laugh. The huntsmen quickly surround the growling animal, which glowers at me, its bared fangs frothing and dripping with saliva. Spears ready, forward, we'll do that. Even though the non-cynical dharmic pacifism attendees would lose opinion. So, 50% chance that the pelt trophy artifact will not be available. And this would increase everybody's hunter trade experience. 34% chance that the beast is slain. 50% chance it would wound someone. 15% chance that someone dies. Better not be me. The group surges forward, fanning out around the terrified animal. We slowly surround it, spears bristling. So much forward takes the strike before we put the laughing beast out of its misery. Quick, he needs help. Hunts like these are a pure joy. I cannot wait for next year. There's nothing quite like the thrill of bringing down a mighty beast. I direct the breaking up, masterfully skilling the carcass while being stained by a drop of blood. We place the eager dogs share the spoil on the stretch side before departing for camp and home. Mount its head, my guest will see its majesty. A mighty hyena skull. The skull describes smirk-mouthed hyena hunted by Maheshi Leelavati in Samantakuta. It is excellently preserved and attached to a plainly carved oak mount. Guest will see its majesty. At the max. There you go. There's a renowned boar skull, and I'll put up the mighty hyena skull. They got their skulls right. You reach the level horse, just gives you more prestige. Vassals respect you more. Keep looking. Eek. Alchemist, it's good to raise that for me. All smiles and praise. This is Chodaganga. Another Chodaganga? A respected scholar in my circles. The man bows and manages to look both pleased and bashful all at once. Please, no need for that. I'm here to lend you my service, my lady, if it pleases you. It does. Please assist her. The Khan is dead. We're receiving scattered reports of some kind of important nomad king having passed away. King is who? What happened? Assassinated. Oh, he's probably made a lot of enemies over the years. And now this is the Red Gejed Kagad Chagatai. It took another part of the town basin. Tataria. That's over there, so it's going towards that direction. I'm just thinking of thoughts in my head. But don't worry, I will unite the Sangha in this episode. I'm just stalling for time. Just to, enjoy everything that I have recently experienced here. Get rid of that. It isn't going to go down anytime soon. It's not going to get below 900. Plus, it's for monetary reasons. That's another reason why I have not done it yet. Because there's a couple of certain things I want to do before I would truly put this series to bed. An exquisite urn of excellent craftsmanship. It is made of terracotta and encircled with depictions of writhing bodies. Not bad. Now I'm waiting for my medicine book, which will no doubt be a masterpiece. More than anything, my quest to be a learned woman is teaching me how much I do not yet know. What more? There must be so much knowledge that has been lost to the ages, as books fall apart or languages are forgotten. Perhaps I could contribute by making a new translation to one of the classic works. Although, what would I even translate? How about the most famous of the Vedas, the Upanishads? Yes. I mean, after all, you do have Hindus in your realm. I mean, they would know the Upanishads intimately, but how about we translate it to, our language, so we could get a better understanding of them, one would think. Since she is such a people person. Generous, too. And she wishes to be a scholar. And she will be. And plus, she knows Tamil. So she would already be intimately familiar with the Vedas. Even though she's not a Vedic woman herself, but a Theravada. else. 1 second. Forge a mace. No thank you. Hang on here. This might cost me some money. One of my scribes have been making edits to my translation of the Upanishads without my knowledge. I simply want to make it as good as it could be. You liked it whenever you thought it was your own work. I will make you pay. Rest of you scribes better take a lesson from this. It doesn't matter, it's just don't you know I aspire to be a scholar? A religious scholar? Tamil Theravada peasants moved to Dvani. And don't forget, the Upanishads were written in Sanskrit. Don't forget about that. Leave her alone. Cat, dog it. Oh, I popped my neck. Look, I believe he had something to do with that Zanavara that was killed. The suspicious circumstances. That means the killer is still out here. Unless we can never find him. It is with joy that today I received a visit of my friend Padita and engage him in a lengthy discussion about anything and everything. From the state of the realm to gossip about my courtiers passing by this or reminiscence of the common past. It was with a sense of thrill that he tried to persuade me to attempting to improve one of my skills under his tutelage. All I have to do is buy some old books about the subject matter and the lessons can start. Beware, if you fail to learn anything, you lose prestige, as everybody will be a witness to his failure. Chance of success is influenced positively by being diligent, quick, shrewd, intelligent. Well, I am, if I recall correctly, I am shrewd, yes. Genius, by a high skill of learning, 12 above, oh yeah. Negatively influencing is the whole opposite. So, let's do it. The constant effort to translate the Upanishads is tiring. The relentless focus, understanding, and creativity required drains me as I move ever closer to its completion. Just a few more pages tonight, and then a few more in the morning. This will improve significantly. Here it is. A monumental herbal urn. With detailed drawings of each plant and descriptions of its medical properties. The cover is wood that's been painted to display a repeating image of geometric shapes. A tiny but elegant description on the first page proudly states, Siddhartha is my strength. I am impressed. That's masterful lettering. Put that on. And this is the old one. And then here is the new one. Why have I not put those books on earlier? When we were increasing that lifestyle experience. Why didn't you do that earlier? I'm waiting for the translation to be finished. And I'll get the scholar trait. A specific phrase from the Upanishads has been frustrating my translation efforts for days. I even started muttering to myself sometimes. Still struggling with one? Still struggling with that one, aren't you? My Rajpurohit have so weighty old tome. One simply needs to know where to look. Oh, help me uncover this, Datusena. So, 50% chance that he finds the answer, and the translation quality will improve significantly and gains the learning experience. 50% chance that he finds a kind of answer, which will improve slightly. We shall see. Again, still waiting for the translation to be complete. See if I can get a learning skill. And what else? Ah, yes. Support the Sangha. And of course, unite the Sangha. And one last thing that I must do after the unification of the Sangha. And then we'll officially end the video series. That's another reason why I kept saying to you people, we're stalling for time. Because I'd like to be a scholar at the end as well. And this event might be the one to do it. My translation of the Upanishads finally stands completed. My words rest on the beautifully illuminated pages, all protected by a lavish cover, as it befits the work's importance. The tome has taken pride in the place of my library, and every Bhikkhu rated is mightily impressed by my efforts. Some are already speaking of making copies of their own. This effort taught me so much. I'm an accomplished translator, and I indeed gained a learning lifestyle perk. So there you go. The Vijayabahu Chronicles. That artifact is mine. It must be kept. It's family heritage. Now I am a scholar, which is a virtue in Theravada faith, for even more development growth. And plus, scheme chances increase, and as well as more learning. So as you well know, 45 years old, and they call me the temple builder. So let's support this Sri Lankan Sangha one more time. Which will be with Parivena schools, of course. This increases that prominence to this high, even though we've already well passed beyond that. And well, one moment. Just let the time tick along a little. I'm gonna look something up quickly. What day is it? Hold it right there. Yeah, I got it. I know what day exactly I'm gonna unite the Sangha on. And some of you are wondering, what do you mean? We're gonna do it on... One second. My husband eagerly brings a woman home. My Maheshi, lovely to introduce to Rava, claimant to the Rata of Uraya. Rava bows for me. It's an honor, my lady. Sadly, Uraya will most likely remain not out of grasp, but without a beneficiary on his side. Good luck with that, I say. Because that's kind of irrelevant. Let me take a drink. So, on the 4th of February, 1239 AD. And some are wondering, why February 4th? Because that's Independence Day in Sri Lanka, which was then called Ceylon. That's why I chose this specific day. On this Independence Day, this will be the day that we unite the Sangha. The Sri Lankan Sangha has been divided for too long. With our help, one of our island's main Buddhist monasteries, whether the Mahavihara, Abhayagiri, or Jetavana, must restore monastic discipline, reinforce proper views and practice, and reform the island's Sangha. I will be known as the Great for this. 1,000 piety. The Buddhist faith with the Pali doctrine will gain a special doctrine depending on which monastery you patronize, which on Mahavihara, obviously. And those of the Pali can gain a special doctrine depending on what struggle phase it ends in. And since we're doing this at the accumulation, this is what's going to be. So, are the descriptions different? Yes, they're all different. So now here, the competing monasteries of Sri Lankan Sangha were unified during the accumulation phase. It was an era when religious institutions flourished under elite patronage and could come together to settle their differences. The period spiritual Zeitgeist has subsequently heavily influenced this branch of Buddhism. So for all Theravadas, their control growth would be reduced, but temple buildings and holdings will be cheaper. And I will select one of the 3 major relics from the relic veneration of Tambapani activity to become more venerated than the others, making it permanently more powerful when doing that activity. That's the reason why I've not been doing that. It's for this occasion. And of course, I will gain 1,000 renown for the name of our dynasty, and have this permanent modifier for this dynasty: United Sri Lankan Sangha. This dynasty played a major role in uniting the rival factions in the Sri Lankan Sangha, or its Buddhist community. Whether they are still Buddhists or not, their meritorious deeds have earned them eternal gratitude of the region's Buddhists. Now remember, in real life, the unification of the Sangha occurred in 1150 AD. But we're doing this here just, almost 90 years to the fact. So you got it all. Unite the Sri Lankan Sangha. The symbol of the Sangha. After centuries of disunity and conflict within the Buddhist community of Tambapani, the various monasteries of the island have agreed to reunite under my auspices and that of the Mahavihara Monastery, which I patronize. We now need a symbol for the Sangha to rally around. Some of the monastic community have claimed that one of the island's most revered religious relics was destined to become such a symbol. The religious rituals surrounding this relic should be glorified, they say, to honor the Buddha, exemplify the Dharma, and inspire the newly united Sangha. The question now is, which relic was actually destined to fulfill such a role? And if I remember correctly, the most important Buddhist artifact in all of Sri Lanka is the Buddha's tooth. And remember, there are these two artifacts, the Dharmadhatu and the Buddha's tooth. You can move them here to whatever your capital county is. And it will decision to re-enshrine the chosen relics for anyone that controls the county. Whereas you can't really move a Bodhi tree, but you get to choose this. So I will go for the Buddha's tooth, because that still exists to this day, as far as importance is concerned for the Sangha of Sri Lanka as a whole today. So here will be the Temple of the Tooth, the relic of the Buddha's tooth, taken from its cremation ashes, is enshrined in the temple here. Following unification of the Sri Lankan Sangha, it has become the major site of worship and veneration among the Buddhists of Tambapani and beyond. Now, uniting Tambapani Sangha. For centuries, the Buddhist Sangha, or monastic community of Tambapani, has been divided by the rivalry between its three main monasteries, the Mahavihara, the Abhayagiri, and Jetavana. While three monasteries shared many beliefs, like adherence to the Pali Canon, they also differed in doctrine, rituals, and more. Elites, Buddhists, and non-Buddhists added fuel to the fire by favoring one sect or another, turning the struggle into a political matter. Recently, Maheshi Lilavati has used her authority to call a religious council to settle this issue once and for all, and to unite the island Sangha under the Mahavihara. All monastics must adhere to the Mahavihara doctrines and practices, or be castigated as heretics. The tooth relic has also been affirmed as the relic par excellence of the island, a symbol of its newfound unity. Lilavati claims she used her authority as the mighty Theravada Maheshi to reform the Sangha, but in truth, the Mahavihara had grown in prominence in recent years, so it was only a matter of time. Not everyone is happy to these vast changes, but the effects will be felt in Buddhist communities all around the world. A new age dawns for Buddhism in this region. So now all Theravadins will have Mahavihara preeminence, which learning per level devotion, +1. So yes, it's the dominant sect of Sri Lankan Sangha, and it's the traditional form of Theravada Buddhism here. Again, I do appreciate the sound effect of the audience clapping. That's why I just was quiet for the first couple of seconds, because I just want to just soak it in, soak it in. It's not over yet. Let's do this relic veneration, Tambapani. In the past, in this series, we did the Dharmadhatu back when we were Jetavana at the beginning, and we did the Sacred Bodhi Tree often, but now, here, Buddha's tooth is going to be the one. I mean, sure, it increases the prominence of that by Giri, but this is important to us. It's a symbol. Or if the tooth relic has been enshrined after the Sangha was united. 1 second. They say re-enshrined decision, right? Said that somewhere. I think it's I think it has to occur if you live in another area or something. Yes, here. Now, after Lord Buddha passed away and his body was cremated, his left canine tooth was discovered in the ashes by one of his chief female disciples, Kema. When war threatened the lands where it was originally held, the monks brought it to Tambapani. That's what the tooth symbolizes in Sri Lanka today. And obviously this place here in our capital is the Shrine of the Tooth, which, if I remember correctly, today I think the Temple of the Tooth is in Kandy, you know, in the hills. Yes, Kandy. I believe that's where it is currently. Although I could be wrong. I mean, it's been a while since I've read about this thing. Anyone that cares is all invited. Over 10 guests invited. Some will choose to decline. That's fine. It's for this special occasion that we will end the episode in this way. At least we don't have to travel to Anuradhapura for it. This is for worship. Ah, yes. I still have the gals. Don't forget about that. Thank you. I've had the gout for most of my natural adult life. I guess we'll never know who killed my son of Rad. We may never know. At last I arrived here in Vijayanagara, the capital, to venerate the sacred tooth of the Lord Buddha. When the Buddha passed away and was cremated, one of his chief disciples, the nun Kema, found his tooth and presented it to an Indian king for safekeeping. When war threatened the temple where the relic stayed at, the monks protected it, brought it to Tambapani, where it has remained since. One of the island's most notable festivities is the procession of this tooth relic. This is an important occasion to honor and venerate the Buddha, and I'll observe the procession in order to do just that. Let us rest and prepare for this first. The procession of the Buddha's tooth relic is a grand and colorful ceremony, and I am here to witness in its full glory. The days-long ceremony begins with the ritual cutting of the sanctified young jackfruit tree performed by monastics in secret. The tree's trunk is split in four and placed in the nearby temples of four guardian deities of Tambapani, Nata, Vishnu, Katharagama, and the great goddess Patini. For 5 days, these temples hold various ceremonies full of music, chanting, and drumming. Once this is done, the procession can subsequently begin. I can't wait to see it. At last, it is time for the procession of the tooth relic itself. All can see the relic casket placed atop a great elephant who leads the procession. The elephant is followed by entertainers of all sorts, from singers and acrobats to drummers, dancers, and flag bearers. It is quite a show and a feast for the eyes. Processions from the 4 other temples converge to join in the main procession, each carrying their temple's insignia, their dances reflecting their various deities. Anyways, the procession ends with a water ceremony at a nearby river. Here, a chosen chief monastic uses the sword to cut the water and separate the pure from the impure. May all be blessed by the Buddha. My visit here in Rajput to engage in relic veneration has come to an end. What joy, what fulfillment, what peace, what contentment. However, as the Buddha taught, all things aren't permanent, including this trip. It is time to go back home and reflect on everything that happened. I'm glad that I found time for this, all in all. Yes, I still gain the great Mahavihara patron trait, since the tube's important to us. And all the other prominence is kind of irrelevant, because in due time, and this is why I decided to end the series and not to drag it to a couple more episodes, because the prominence of the monasteries that is a Mahavihara is going to gradually go down, just very slowly until it disappears, which would take about, many decades, which don't think it matters anymore at this point. So, yes, our ceremony of the relic of veneration Taberna is over. Through this meritorious deed, we can remind ourselves of the Buddhist teachings and to strive to follow and understand them the best we can. So, there you have it. Lilavati the Great. That's what she will be remembered for. Honest, generous, just, erudite oracle, and as well as a scholar. But let's not forget that in her younger years she was quite a seductress, even though she was only at the women. But that's just her life. What she does is just her own life. But she will be remembered for uniting the Sri Lankan Sangha. And that, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, and to all the viewers from around the world, and including those from Sri Lanka that have started this series and made it through all the way to the end, we'll end this series on that note. And of course, as far as the Mongol Empire is concerned, don't worry about that. They're just going to continue rampaging through, and it's likely that they'll never go down to India, because I've seen it in my past playthroughs. They don't typically go down this far, not even all the way down there, so don't worry about that. So it's kind of irrelevant. But what will be relevant is that I recorded this video on Sunday, November 19th. So by the time this video was posted, I have been enjoying my break from recording videos of Crusader Kings and waiting for the mods to be up to date so I can get started soon, that I will begin recording the next video series somewhere in the Iranian world, playing as an Iranian culture with a faith to be determined, which will all be determined by a poll that's been ongoing for weeks now. So I'm going to enjoy my time off, take a well-deserved long break, do the things that I've been wanting to do in life, and all that and more. So we hope you people have enjoyed this series, which is very different than all the past playthroughs that I've done, where it's not about warfare, it's about peace and prosperity, especially prosperity. The most developed country I've ever played as, all confined in this one island nation where everything is possible. So we'll see you in the next video series. And so this is Lord Master saying so long for now. And finally, one last thing I just want to say because of Buddhist context. And we wish you people in Sri Lanka and all the Buddhists around the world that may have watched this video, we wish you peace. As every Buddhist wishes, let there be peace. So long for now.